Everything we learned today from practice. Let's talk about it. Starting off right away, Lucas Patrick is starting at right guard. Yep. It is what it is. We're going to see how he does. He's going to have a very tough competition. A very tough first day, as he is going against one of the best defensive lines in the game. We're just going to have to see how it works out, and obviously we wish him nothing but the best of luck, as if he fails, literally all it does is hurt our quarterback. So just hope he works out very well, and I hope everything works out. Yeah, it still scares me, and it's gonna scare me because of I've seen him in the preseason. He didn't look that great, but it is what it is. Dalton's not ready. We should have signed Dalton Risner probably a month or two ago. This situation would have never happened. We would never be in this situation if we signed Dalton a couple months ago. But, we made our bed, and now we have to sit in it. Or sleep in it, whatever it is. I feel like we got everything we wanted to do in camp and came out relatively healthy. I'm excited about where our team is at, Zach Taylor. That's another thing. We have no injuries going into week 1, which is weird to say out loud. Now, obviously, we have players out for the season, Cordell Volson, Eric All, etc., but we have no actual injuries going into it. Like this guy's questionable, that guy's questionable. None of that stuff, which not very common for week 1. And obviously, the Brownies have a lot of guys that are really on the fence right now, but not bad. I don't know if it's the external expectations will be exceeded. The internal expectations, we're kind of sick in a way. We want the pressure, Zach Taylor. It's not sick. It's just this is how the Bengals are. We love the underdog mentality. We love being the underdog mentality. This is just how Cincinnati is. This is how Cincinnati's always going to be. I like his confidence because he puts in the work. It's earned confidence. Zach Taylor on Al Golden's defensive approach. I don't know. Oh, I already read that. Bengals stretch to Won't Step on Me Wednesday in shorts and helmets. Joseph Asai vibing. Okay, I can't play the audio for obvious reasons, but this is just them stretching, so yeah. Anyway, Jerry Montgomery working Wednesday with Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart, and McKinley Jackson. Okay. Look at Shamar. Absolute menace. Love him. Love my man's out here today. He's got some moves going on with Trey. Got some moves with Shamar Stewart. Hope and pray that he has himself a fantastic season. Ask Joe Burrow if there's a sense that the front office did its job. Time for the players and coaches to do theirs. I think that's fair to say. We have to go and prove it on Sundays. Doesn't matter if you have a great training camp, you have to prove it, Joe Burrow. I'm very confident my body's in a place it hasn't been in past years, Joe Burrow. That is true. He didn't have any injuries throughout training camp or preseason, which is good. They're going to be very good at making everything they do look like everything else they do. On Jim Schwartz's defense, the narrative has certainly shifted. Joe Burrow on the urgency to meet expectations this season. Bengals do not report any injuries on the first injury report of 2025, which is insane to say out loud. But let's listen to Joe Burrow.
A lot of work for it. I certainly think that the narrative surrounding our team has shifted. I'm not sure I would say most to prove. I would say that we certainly are trying to go out and win as much as we can. We're putting in a lot of work for it. Like I said, the narrative has certainly shifted, and we'll see where we're at the end of the year.
Those three guys seem to have caught your eye who came in the last 40 days. Dalton, Mike. Those are pretty rare. Those are pretty good players to walk in here in the last minute.
But yeah, I agree, and that is, like you said, rare to be able to get players of that caliber this late in the process. And obviously you'd like to be able to get them earlier so they can be integrated into the scheme and the team. But they're all pros. We're pros, and at the end of the day, when you're out there on Sundays, you got to be able to play well and execute the play that is called. And those guys are all veterans, know how to play football, and it's really been seamless so far.
Do you feel the benefits of 5 preseason series right now, or is that something that will manifest itself when you go out there?
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. It's certainly can't hurt. The more reps you get, the better you're going to be, just like with anything in this world. So we'll find out.
Do you wish you had more reps throughout the preseason games, or do you feel like that was the right amount?
I mean, I'm always going to push for more reps. I know I can get better with the more reps that I get. Obviously, you want to be careful with that in the preseason and not put too much risk in meaningless games. But I get better quickly with limited reps. So the more reps I can get, the better I'm going to be.
This is why when people got on Zach Taylor for not taking him out of the preseason, was it the week 2 one? This is why they didn't take him out / they couldn't take him out. Because at the end of the day, Joe Burrow makes these decisions. Like Zach can go up to Joe and say, all right, Joe, your day is done. Your day is done. But Joe's going to push to want to be out there. And it's kind of to a point where I'm not saying Zach doesn't have the control here, but it's not really Zach's place in a way because Joe Burrow is going to be Joe Burrow. He's going to want to play. And yes, you obviously like, well, the coach needs to step forward and say, this is what's best. But reality-wise, are we sure? Like, who do we think knows better about Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow or Zach Taylor? I think it's definitely going to be a Joe Burrow answer there. So, yeah, it's again one of those things where Joe's going to push back. He's going to say, I want to be out there, and we'll see. Bengals, we read that. The 5-0 lead is gone. Zach this is for baseball. Second pitch, and then, yeah, that's baseball stuff. So, overall-wise, very excited, but I think there's another thing that he did say in that I need to address, and I think there's an amen that needs to be put out there. He said it would be nice if we got some of these guys earlier in the process so that they were ready to go pretty much week 1. Zach, Duke, front office, listen to Joe Burrow. We should have got Dalton a while ago. Right now, we're saying the same thing with our boy, I'll say our boy, because, like, right now, there really is no our boy yet. But with Jabril Peppers, we're saying the same thing. Don't twiddle your thumbs. Don't, go back and forth and say, should we pick him up? Should we not pick him up? Pick him up now. You don't want to wait until something happens and you need to pick up the guy. You want to have the situation figured out now so you avoid having to, backtrack and figure things out later. Sometimes it's good to be ahead of the game rather than be behind the game and playing catch up. And a lot of times we're in that kind of feat where we're sitting here playing catch up rather than actually being ahead of the game. This is how you win a Super Bowl is you got to be ahead of the game. You got to be 3 steps ahead of your opponent, 3 steps ahead of everyone else. And it feels like, especially when it comes to certain contracts, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, we have been behind the game and not ahead of the game. And you have to be ahead of the game. So, again, we have a situation here where we're saying, it's like, I know, like, in the end of the day, right, the motto is everything is 2020. At the end of the day, you can look back at anything throughout history and say, oh, well, you should have did this, right? You should have did that. Like, oh, we should have invested in Google in 1990s, right? We should have invested in Netflix. But at the end of the day, this is your moment. Like, this is your Google. You have Google in front of you. Just pull the trigger and do it. Like, now it's like, obviously everything's 2020 when you look back at it, but this is your moment to take advantage of it, to get ahead of the curve, and it's just, sometimes I feel like they just don't do it. They just kind of sit back and say, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Like, no. The motto can't be, we'll just figure it out. The motto's got to be, we get it done now. But I'll see you guys next one, though.